It's yourself. Again. Right. Bear with. Meditation's coming. Just got to check a few technicals. I'm streaming on a few different platforms, so I just have to check that that's actually coming out on a few different platforms. I'm on, what am I on? Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So Instagram's looking very nice. Hi to everyone on Instagram. The meditation's coming. Just let me check that. Facebook is up. It looks good. Yes. Okay, good. I think we're ready. Are we? Hang on. One sec. Great. Okay. How are you? Good, I hope. Hope it's all going well. It's all right if it's not. It's all right if you don't feel great, but I hope you are feeling good. Right, this is a chance to meditate together. It's not a class. I meditate throughout the day. In fact, today is one of the days I work with people one-to-one. So I pretty much spent the whole day meditating. So this is the meditation I do online though. And if you're familiar with meditation, brilliant. If you could just hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. Because meditation is one of those funny things that people tell me anyway, that they sort of feel embarrassed that they don't know how to do it. And they don't really want to say, no, I don't know what, I've read about it, I kind of understand in theory, but I don't really know what you're supposed to do. So this is just what I do. There's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I am trying to connect with a part of me that I connect to every night when I go to sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. That's the bit I'm interested in. Because when I finish dreaming and I drop into deep dreamless sleep, I have no memory of being there, wherever it is I go. I have no thoughts. I've got no body. I've got no country, no stories, no nothing. I sort of cease to exist. Certainly in the way that I normally register my existence. And that sounds terrible when I say it like that. It sounds like death. But yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that is a good place that I go to. And that's the place I want to connect to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't do this lying down. Because if you lie down, your body will just go, well, I'm lying down and I've got my eyes closed. It must be time for sleep. So you'll either fall asleep or you'll battle sleep, both of which are very kind of get in the way of your meditation. So yeah, I'd encourage you to sit up. You can sit in a lotus position if you're comfortable sitting in a lotus position. You don't have to. I would encourage you not to sit in a very comfortable chair because that'll be just like lying down. You'll fall asleep. So yeah, sit in a reasonably uncomfortable chair or lotus position, whichever, but definitely sit upright. Now, as I said, there was no thoughts when I go to this place in deep dreamless sleep. So to get into it in meditation, I need to sort of make an arrangement with my mind. I need to be able to part the curtains of my mind, so to speak, to get into this place. So yeah, I just sort of I say to my mind, look, I'm going to meditate. Can you just stop thinking for the next 15 minutes, please? And my mind is pretty on board with it at this stage. And to stop thinking is relatively easy because thinking, regardless of what I'm thinking about, the structure of my thoughts is just pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. So that's good. And then as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. Now, the practice of meditation runs parallel with the intention of meditation. And I draw a sort of distinction between those two because the intention of my meditation is to go to this deep place that I go to in deep dreamless sleep, deep, mysterious, all the things you read about to do with meditation. It's calm, peaceful, zen-like, mindless, not mindful, mindless, that place. The practice of meditation starts with me stopping thinking, so I turn the pictures and I turn the sound off. Then a little bit of time will pass and then I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I'll bring myself back to not thinking. I'll turn the pictures off. I'll turn the sound off. I'll stop thinking. then a little bit more time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I'll bring myself back to not thinking. I'll turn off the pictures, I'll turn off the sound. And then a little bit of time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. And so on. That's just repeatedly, gently, lovingly bringing myself back to not thinking. And I sort of highlight that because I've had people say things to me like, no, I've tried meditation, it doesn't suit me. I've a very busy mind, it's just not my thing. Which is a shame, because nobody's mind is any more busy than anybody else's as far as I can see. And that idea of that you shouldn't think at all during meditation is not actually correct. It's like a balancing, it's like a dance really between the two. You sort of go back and forth. Sometimes you'll be in this lovely, beautiful, still, calm place, and other times you'll discover that you're thinking. Both of which have their own kind of power, because when you're in the beautiful, still place, there's a power to that. But then every time that you discover that you're thinking and you bring yourself back to not thinking, what you're indirectly doing is saying to yourself, hey, you know those thoughts I was just thinking? Yeah, they're not me. I thought they were me, but they're not me because I've just turned them off. I'm something else. I'm something beyond those thoughts. That's very profound. And the fact that you do that repeatedly, yeah, adds up. So if you find yourself thinking a lot, that's fine. That's not the thing. Don't get hung up on that. Just very gently bring yourself back to not thinking every time you discover that you're thinking. Don't add to your thinking by thinking, I'm not very good at meditation. Now, while that's all going on, I'm also letting go of any tension that I have in my body. Or another way, I'm becoming more conscious of my body. I'm becoming more embodied. So I have a system for that, mainly because it's too vague and soupy in there when I close my eyes to not have a system. So I scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again. Very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go. Because it's natural. It feels very natural to just, let it go. But also, it's a good way to remember to breathe, to become more conscious of my breathing. Because, weirdly, it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation. Or to stop breathing altogether. So, using the out-breath to let go of the tension is just a good way to remember to do that. Also, when I'm scanning my body, I'm paying particular attention to structures that go across my body, or transverse, because they have a tendency to accumulate tension more than the rest of my body. Mostly my body runs longitudinally. I kind of think of it like similar to a log going across a stream. It just has a tendency to pick up the leaves and the twigs, anything that's coming down the stream. Same with structures that go across my body. So I'm checking my eyes particularly, or paying a little bit more attention to my eyes. There can be a lot of tension in my eyes. My jaw, my base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints there, all transverse as well. So shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. So if you're new again to meditation, a quiet room is really helpful, because one of the things that happens when you close your eyes, your other senses amplify, and you'll hear noises in the distance that you wouldn't have normally heard. So the little noises trigger thoughts. So the quieter the room, the less triggering you'll have. So obviously a quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed. I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. That's again just to help my mind. It's one less thing to think of. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter if you're new to meditation, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. So set yours for 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times. All this is part of the further emergence work that I do, and that's what I was doing today, seeing those people one-to-one. I'll explain more about what further emergence is when we're finished the meditation. But for now, let's get on with it. Okay, timer started. Off we go into the mystery. Right, so if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside yourself and you need a little bit of time to come back before you open your eyes, that's fine, take the time. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if you do that and you feel like you've lost the inner space, then just close your eyes again, reconnect with it. Oh yeah, there it still is. Then open your eyes again. You can open your eyes back and forth to, keep the two together. Okay, so as I said, this part of these meditations I do, daily meditations, are part of the further emergence work that I do. Further emergence is to do with growth, inner growth, growth in consciousness. Some people relate to it as spiritual growth. I specifically work with people who are going through growth spurts, inner growth spurts. Similar to growth spurts you had when you were a teenager in your body, but just growth spurts that happen on the inside. And they're kind of characterized by different things. Often it's disorientation. People will say things like, yeah, I just woke up one day and my life didn't fit me anymore, or it didn't look, couldn't recognize it. I just felt completely out of place in my life, this life that I'd created very carefully, but now just, I don't get it. So that's one thing. Or people might have physical symptoms. They might have the sort of physical symptoms that have just pressed the pause button on their life, and they know, they've tried all the normal medical channels and not really got anywhere. They're not, they're not in danger. Like, it's not life-threatening illness, but it's completely debilitated their lives. Can have that kind of quality as well. Can have the feeling of like nobody really gets me anymore. When I try and talk to people about this stuff, they just think I'm strange or weird, that kind of thing. And lots of other ways that it can manifest. So as I say, I do these meditations, and then I do a Zoom group every Friday, so tomorrow. And that's a chance for people to kind of meet and get a sense of community and alleviate the feeling of being alone, because if you're going through a growth spurt and no one else around you is, it can feel very isolating. So yeah, the Zoom group is a chance to sort of go, oh yeah, I'm not the only one going through this. So we do some more in-depth meditation and get questions answered. And I put them on the different channels that I'm on. So the Further Emergence, I've got a Further Emergence Instagram account, Further Emergence Facebook page, Further Emergence YouTube channel, and I put the Zoom groups on there as well as these meditations. And then I also do the one-to-one work with people as well. So yeah, if that sort of stuff resonates with you, then subscribe to one of the channels, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever is your preferred way of keeping up in touch with things. Or you can go to the Further Emergence website and read more about it and get more of a sense of it. Okay, so I don't think there were any questions came in. No. Nope. Okay, so yeah, see you tomorrow for some more meditation. And if you want to go to the Zoom group tomorrow, that's on the website, how to do that. It's, the Zoom link is all there. And yeah, see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.